The book that I'm currently reading that I'm pretty obsessed with at the moment, for those of you that know me well, you know that I usually am always reading a book, and it's typically my favorite book until I finish that and start the next one, in which case that becomes my favorite book. But currently, my favorite book is Action Strategies for Personal Achievement by Brian Tracy. And there's an exercise, just a mental exercise that he ran through in the book that was one of the more like mentally like transcending, or just kind of, I don't know what the word is, a mental unlock, just a very, very helpful way of approaching and thinking about who you are as an individual, and how you can basically look at all these problems that you're faced with in a more positive light. So basically, the exercise is this. Imagine that you are able to, like before you were born, you existed in a different dimension. So this isn't a religious exercise, it's just a mental thought experiment. So let's pretend that we have the ability, we personally have the ability to be in a different space, whether that's, you know, somewhere else in the universe or outside of the universe, but we could choose where in time we wanted to insert ourselves into existence. And we could choose the location, the time, the family that we were raised in, knowing full well that we were going to encounter a number of what's called the small things, minor inconveniences, but also massive heartaches, difficulties, troubles, trials, whatever that is. But we knew full well of all the places that we could insert ourselves into existence. We chose this one for a very specific reason. And if you think about where you're at right now from that perspective, how much different would that change the way that you approached, you know, the person that really pissed you off the other day, or the frustrations that you have, or the, you know, losing loved ones. I lost my dad when I was a junior in high school. If I think about this in that way and I approach it from the perspective of there's a reason that I put myself in this situation. There's something I'm supposed to take out of this. And thinking about it in that way, for me, totally, like, just radically changed every single day that I'm entering into. And it changes your interaction with people that on one hand it's seemingly insignificant and you're just kind of rolling through the motions. And I think that that's an interesting perspective and thing to think about, because if you approach every moment, especially the difficult moments, from this perspective of, I put myself here on purpose to do something about it. There's something I'm supposed to take from this to gain a strength or a skill that I can use later in a different scenario. And you do that in all situations. I think it totally transforms the way that you approach everything in your life. And I also think that it provides a lot more hope in the face of these terrible things that can happen to us, and trying to see, why would I have chosen this as opposed to the path that someone else have? What am I supposed to take from this moment to learn and gain experience from that I can use later in my life? Thanks again for watching. Feel free to shoot me an email if you have any comments, questions. I'd love to chat about some of these things that I'm working through currently. But as always, it's been fun, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.